And we are back. Episode number 3, Mutant in the Mouth. What is up, bro?
What's going on?
Well, you tell me. First of all, is that your phone going off in the background?
No, that's my alarm for the house.
Who's there?
No one. It just makes noise.
To pretend somebody's there?
Yeah, I guess. I
my-
have to figure out how to shut it off. It's been
Or
like
get
this.
Or get your money back. So there's some let's we'll get into the banter shit later, but so obviously there's some big news.
Yeah.
Which obviously I kind of knew a little bit about right before,
yeah.
But I think you dropped a very subtle hint on the last podcast, and I giggled, but I was like, I don't think anybody's going to pick up on it.
Which part?
You picked up on something about the prize money and the Arnold, depending upon what the prize money is.
Oh,
so I was like, I just sat back and kept my mouth shut because I knew what you were referring to because me and you had prior conversations about it, but obviously nobody else did. So what went on? Because have you done a podcast since your announcement?
No.
Oh,
so it's the only podcast I do, baby.
Did you shave your head the last time?
Yeah, bro.
The last time too?
Yeah.
I remember the line. I don't remember the whole.
No, this one's a lot shorter.
Okay.
Shorter. Yeah.
So the Arnold. You did the Olympia. You took third. You said I'm done, moving on. Yeah. And now you're like, fuck it, another $100,000. I'm in.
I mean, to sum it up, yeah, that's about right. No, but to get in like detail, I mean, they probably came to me about I was probably 2 to 3 weeks out from Olympia, and they said, "Hey, are you doing the Arnold?" Like me and Matt were like, "Dude, we're not even thinking about this. Like, we're focused on the O." And they were like, "We need to know by like this date," which was like the next day. And I was like, "No, I'm not doing it. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?" And I didn't want to also, after what happened last year, post Olympia, I didn't want to commit to something and be mentally fucked and be like, I'm not doing it. So then they actually said, look, we'll give you to after the holidays to think about it. So I said, okay. And then obviously after the Olympia, being with Maria, we chilled, we relaxed. We still stayed on point, but, we went out to eat a lot. We did, we went out in general a lot. And mentally, I felt good. So they reached out again and, basically said, we're going to, up the prize money to $300K. I said, count me in. And I had to look at it in two different perspectives, right?
That's literally what I was going to ask. I was like, break down for me how you broke down how this went from not making sense to making sense.
So, yeah, like I said, being mentally ready was first and foremost for me, which I was. But I wanted to be able to wait and see for that. But I also put in perspective, I'm 28 years old. I'm young, I'm fresh. I just had a whole year off. And according to my mother, she told me, if you have a whole year off and you can't do 2 shows, you probably shouldn't be a pro. I was like, oh, okay, Mom.
I mean,
let me see you do one prep and let me know how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, she's right in a way. Yeah, right.
No, but I had to put in perspective. Okay, I'm 28. I'm young. Why not make the most of it?
This is a time where if you can compete a lot, you should, because when you get to your mid 30s, you're gonna want the time off for the bigger shows. Right. You're not gonna want to.
That's what I said. And like I said, I had a nice little 4-week chill time. And when I finally kind of made the decision, it was very important that my mother was on board, my father was on board, my brother was on board, Matt was on board, and of course Maria was on board. And they both, all of them were like, "Yeah, we said we all think you should do it." So I said, "Okay, I'm in." Because if one of them didn't approve, I wouldn't have done it.
So now who's all, obviously since you're doing it, you know who's in. Who's all doing it?
Everyone that's on the list.
And who's on the list? Should we pull it up?
No, I mean you got me, Bonac, Justin Rodriguez, Andrew Jack, Patrick Moore, Shaun Clarida, Kamal,
Akeem.
Akeem, and I think that's it.
Is Derek doing it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Now I'm going to ask, because you mentioned him, Shaun Clarida.
Yeah.
Where do you have him in this whole mix?
Because of, my confidence in myself here, I have him number 2.
Okay, you do.
I do. I think
Okay.
people look. He's a threat. Shaun Clarida is very dangerous. He might be small, but he's like the perfect bodybuilder. You know what I mean? And if he's peaked correctly and someone falls short, he's jumping up.
Yeah.
And considering, me and him have the same coach, we're both going to be peaked to the fullest.
That's going to be a crazy show because, obviously people can say that show was weak, but Shaun took out a lot of big names last year at that Cali show, right? So he showed that he can stand with the best of the best. And
Shaun's hungry. Shaun's hungry.
yeah, and he got it. When who knows the spark that is lit under his ass now that his baby has arrived.
That's what I mean. He just had a kid. He's hungry.
He might want to make cash those checks into the bank as much as he can now that he's feeding an extra mouth and has another plate on the table. So that's crazy. So you're starting in a different spot. So where's your weight now compared to where it was when you started your prep, or where it was, what are we, 6 weeks out, right? 7 weeks out. Where's your weight in regards to where it is now to where it was 7 weeks out from the Olympia?
Oh shit! I don't even remember I was 7 weeks out from Olympia, but right now I'm only up 10 pounds.
That's crazy.
And I'm just the conditioning is like already ahead of the game for 7 weeks out. So we've actually been eating a lot of food, and I'm just getting leaner at this point.
I was going to ask, because you said you and Maria went out quite a bit to eat. How was it that you're able to maintain staying that lean? Is it just because of the post show rebound effect, or are you doing some extra cardio? Are you doing, like, were you anticipating that the Arnold might be a possibility, so you kind of kept yourself more in check?
Honestly, with the Arnold being, no, I really, because I did tell Maria, I said, I'm not doing it. I said, I want you to have a break. I want me to have a break. I want us to focus on some business things. I want to, focus more on our relationship, whatever. I said, I'm not doing it. No. But my mindset, post rebound or post Olympia, the rebound, to me is probably the most important part of the entire year. Just about. So I didn't want to completely fuck that up. So I stayed on cardio. I did cardio 6 days a week. And then, like I explained in the last video, whenever we went out to eat, like we went full hard for a day, pretty much. Like I said, big breakfast, big dinner. And then for the rest of the week, I was back on a very clean diet. So the weight would come right off. And then I do it again, the weight would come right off. So even though my weight would go up the good, 4 to 5 pounds from that day, it'll come right off.
Yeah.
And my body responded very well to that throughout this rebound. And I think it just made me fuller, but I was able to stay very, very lean still.
Were you keeping a lot of cardio in at the same time, or were you keeping your cardio in at all, or just low?
25 minutes every day.
45?
25.
25. Oh, what's the most cardio you did for the Olympia prep?
An hour.
Okay. An hour total, or an hour like one shot, or 30-30?
No, so what he had me do was like 40 minutes fasted.
Okay.
And then before last meal or post workout, I would do 20 minutes.
Gotcha. Yeah, I never did that nighttime cardio, like
I hate
before
it.
my last meal. I would do it post workout, but
I
I
hate it.
never just did cardio at night before a meal. I just never.
I understand why it's done.
What's the reasoning why Matt has you do it? Is it to
Well,
improve?
it's just splits from training. Um, and when you separate all three, it keeps the metabolism rolling.
Of
So,
course. Yeah.
that's I think that's the main reason. But I mean, I've always done it after training as well, and I don't think there's a significant difference. But I do understand the purpose behind it.
Is the cardio super intense? Because there's preps where I've done just the stairmaster, and then there's preps where I've done the treadmill, walking outside a
What
lot
do you think benefited you the most?
without there's zero question whatsoever. Stairmaster, no doubt in
Really?
my mind.
See,
No doubt.
if I, it inflames me,
Inflames what?
my body. If I do, I feel like it's too taxing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think for you, for me walking on a stairmaster at 2:30 and you walking on a stairmaster at 3:30, it's a little fucking different.
Like what does me the best is treadmill or the recruitment bike.
Yeah, I have. So I have a recumbent bike in my basement and a treadmill, and then I have the stairmaster in my garage because it's too tall to fit in my basement, and I wasn't
Yeah.
bringing it in my house.
Fuck no.
So yeah, I have an option of do whichever one I want, which is good. And then
I love stairs. I love stairs, but I just feel for my body to respond the way I need it to, it's gonna be either the treadmill or the bike.
so you haven't, so you don't do any stairs
No,
whatsoever.
no, because of that. The only reason why I liked the stairs was because I felt like it helped with my glute development a lot.
Okay.
So what I would now, instead of doing that, I would just ride the bike, and then after still fasted, I train a little glutes.
Now, is it like one of the Peloton bikes, or is it like a bucket, like one of the ones where you just sit down like this?
Yeah, you sit down, you pedal. The lazy man cardio is what I like
Yeah.
to call it.
Now, do you actually crank it up to where? Because I do that in my basement, and that pumps my legs up more than actually doing the treadmill. But without a doubt, my legs are on fire when I'm done.
My legs are so pumped when I'm done, and that's why I like it, because I feel like it helps keep my legs fuller.
Okay. Okay.
Because
So
I'll crank it. I mean, every bike's different, so like I try to crank it depending, on the bike between like level 10, 12,
yeah.
and I'll just pedal like a motherfucker.
Hmm. And
I'll sweat really bad.
is that both sessions of cardio, the recumbent bike?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, if I feel like pedaling, my legs hurt, I might just do I would do like a light walk on a treadmill, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I've walked outside before, but my best looks were with the Stairmaster. And I mean, I obviously won shows doing the treadmill, but I never did I did the bike my first show ever. It was the only
Dude, I
time I
think
ever
it's
did the
very
bike.
beneficial. I
Yeah, no,
do.
no, I'm not saying I never none of my coaches really Aceto never really told me to do the bike. So I never really
Yeah.
was, did the bike because I never really had a need to. So
Well, I
um
enjoy cardio now because the gym that I go to, the EOS, it's a theater room, so I can sit down, do cardio, and watch a movie.
so do you get to pick what you watch?
No, I just whatever they have on, but it's usually good. Dude, I was watching Thor yesterday; it was awesome.
And is that one big room, right? So you can't restart it like when it's ongoing.
It's ongoing, yeah.
Okay. Now, do they play different movies, or it's one on movie that just plays
I think
over
it's
and
just
over again?
one movie for that day, and then the next day it changes into something else.
Yeah, there's a couple places around here that have cardio theaters. I literally never went into them.
It really, I mean, I love cardio in general, but that really helps.
See, it's so weird. Like even when I had my other house and my apartment, and now where I live now, I have um all my cardio set up, and I don't have one TV near one piece of cardio equipment.
When I started to get cardio in
It's
the
so
house, I'm
weird.
totally putting a TV up,
Yeah, huh?
100%.
Yeah, I don't even when I had my cardio equipment right in front of the TV, I very rarely turn the TV on. Because like in the morning, I just don't want to watch. I don't know. I don't want to listen to anybody talk. I enjoy the peace and quiet. So I don't listen to music. I just fucking go on the treadmill, or I'll just do a live feed.
Well, for me, when I watch a movie, I don't look at the time as much. If I listen to music or watch something on YouTube, I will stare at the time forever.
Or if you listen to a song, you're like, all right, that's I listen to four songs, three
I
minutes
do that.
long
Yep.
each. 4 times 3 is 12.
And then look at the time, you're like, ah, shit.
Yeah, I was 3 minutes off. It's only fucking been 9 minutes. Fucking ridiculous. So, as there's a picture of Arnold right there.
Oh,
Right,
I know.
there's a picture of me and Ashkenani right here.
I see that. He just won a show, actually.
Yeah, I saw Ahmad.
Yeah.
Great guy. If you guys noticed, I actually switched. So I was over there, but everybody was like, the glare is so bad. The glare. So
Yeah.
I switched spots in my
We,
room.
we listen to the feedback.
Yeah, we listened to the fans. So what I did was I moved. So me and I know Nick is in the process of getting a backdrop too. So we're gonna have backdrops. So all this stuff will just be one big backdrop, so you guys could be all complimentary of us. But if you guys notice, these are all pictures. There's a pictures of Milos, Jose, Fuad, Branch, Flex, Ahmad, Kai. There's actually manager Matt and CT Fletcher. Another one of Branch and Flex, Chris Cormier. There's John Meadows behind me, Paul from Bullfrog, Luke Carroll from Iron Rebel. But so the Arnold, this is your second Arnold, right?
Yeah.
So I did the Arnold 3 times. I took fourth, sixth. The third one I did when I took sixth, I signed my contract 6 days out. I'll never forget that. That was insane.
Really?
Yeah, because I almost didn't do it because I got really sick.
Okay.
I got the flu twice during prep, and 2 weeks out, Steve Weinberger was like, "You're not." He's like, "There's no chance. There's no chance you're gonna." And Chris Aceto was like, "Bro, it's all right. Just like we'll find another show." And I was like, "All right." So literally, like, I just stayed on the diet, and it was just I would like that was 14 days out, 2 weeks, and then it was probably it was 7 days out because I saw Steve on the 6th day. I was laying in bed and I was laying in bed with no shirt on. I just got out of the shower and I dozed off for a little bit and I woke up and I stood up and looked in the mirror and I was fucking peeled. And I texted Chris and I was like, "Hey man," "I'm fucking peeled right now." He's like, "Really?" I was like, "I'm inside out peeled." He's like, "Send me pictures right now." So I sent him pictures and he goes, "Go see Steve Weinberger first thing tomorrow." So I woke up in the morning. I went to go see Steve Weinberger. Steve was like, "I don't know how you did it." He goes, "But go home and sign your contract." And I was like,
That's badass, bro.
I got 6, but I was smaller. That was in 17. I was a lot smaller.
When were you ever big?
You're a real fucking asshole. You're a real piece of shit. You know, still
I had to.
The joke's got to cross over.
I had to.
No, but that prep was rough, man. I had a lot of shit going on that prep. I got sick really bad twice, and I wasn't sure. And my name was on, and I was pushing through, and I was just like unsure if I was going to be able to fucking make it. And you know, it was crazy because I never not made it to a show or through a prep that I set my mind to, and I was like, if I don't make it through this prep, like this is going to be like, I can't believe this.
Yeah,
because my name was on the list, and I didn't want to sign the contract. I had the contract for so long, and I didn't sign it because I knew that once I got sick really bad, and I like wasn't coming back as fast as I thought I would, and then I got sick again, and I was like, it was like 10 weeks, 10 or 9 weeks out, and I was down for a week, and then I came back, and it was just, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna fucking be able to do this. And but going back to the Arnold, what I wanted to say is that being that we both competed at it, is there anything you don't like about the Arnold? Because for me, I've had nothing but awesome experiences at the Arnold, and the way they treat the athletes, the backstage, the venue, just everything all together, I think is completely awesome.
Obviously, I've only done one Arnold, but that was probably my favorite show I've done.
Yeah.
as far as, the camaraderie between me and the athletes, how it was ran and everything. Like everything was on time. It was awesome.
Yeah,
Like
that's
whatever time they said, that was the time,
yeah.
Um, I mean, even like getting tagged, everything was just simple, very well organized. And yeah, it was probably my favorite show as far as everything.
Yeah, every time. I mean, I did the Arnold in Brazil, I did the Arnold in Australia, I've done the Arnold in Columbus, and they're all ran like that. The one in Australia was ran by Tony Doherty, who did a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
I'll actually never forget that because when I was there, um, at that I was the only 212 guy who was doing that show, and Tony had asked me to do it. It was right after the Arnold Classic in Ohio. That was Dallas's
yeah.
McCarver's last show.
Mhm.
Um, and I actually got fifth, and I would have been sixth if Dallas didn't bow out of that show, because he obviously was sick. But that show, the night prior, we had a meet and greet. It was either the night prior or 2 days prior, and it was one of the most humbling experiences in my life because here I am as a 212 guy. I was pretty well known at that time, and we were at the venue where the meet and greet was, and everybody was gone. Excuse me. Besides me and Dallas, and Dallas left, and I left a little later. But I had such a long line that wrapped around the venue that they had to call me a taxi separately to take me back to the hotel, which was pretty fucking cool. And then after that show, my distributor at the time, I was sponsored by a company called Centurion Labs. That distributor put me up in the after the show in the presidential suite in the Hilton
Oh yeah.
across the street, filled it fridge with sushi, put his card on the room, and put $1,000 of cash on the table and said, "This is for you, and my card's on the room. Anything you want, just fucking put it to the room." It was the fucking coolest 3 days of my life. It
That's
was awesome.
awesome.
But so yeah, so the Arnold for me was awesome because I did a lot. I experienced a lot of different places with the Arnold. Now, is this going to is people are going to start to think now that well Nick did the Olympia, Nick did the Arnold. Are you going to pop up at any other Arnolds throughout, or is this going to be you did this and now it's locked and loaded until the Olympia?
Yeah, after the show, I'm done to the Olympia. Because I know after I do this show, I personally believe I'll have enough, downtime, rest time, and also enough time to make, some improvements before starting prep. So I'm done after this one.
So done means what? Like, is there like a clean out phase where you just like shut it down and don't go to
Yeah,
the
we
gym and
probably
not work
basically
out?
kind of do what we did for after Olympia. Come pretty much all the way off, not TRT dose, and that's it. And then clear out, do what needs to be done, and then
So
after.
when you say clear out and TRT dose, are you because I know there's two different. I know people that clear out completely off, and then I know people that say they clear out, but they run like a 2 to 300 meg TRT dose. Now, what
Yeah, that's really it.
you run just a low dose of test,
Yeah.
and what about like the Clomid HCG? Because does that get thrown in or no? Yeah. So okay. So you just come so you don't even do like a PCT. You just come to a low level and then just level off.
When you just, I mean, in my opinion, when you do a TRT, I mean, I understand it, but I also don't think it's really needed. You know?
You're saying if you're still running the test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never had issues.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, obviously you get your stuff regulated by your doctors and shit. So,
yeah,
yeah,
I
no,
got
no,
a cool one. I got a cool one down here now, bro. I'm fucking taken care of down here, man. It's
yeah,
awesome,
you got a lot of connections down there already.
bro. I'm set. I'll live till I'm 400.
There we got the rejuvenation clinics, got the IV clinics down there. There's like 8,000 gyms that you can train at. You got your
Awesome.
massages, your chiropractors.
I'm set, bro. No one has to worry. I am set.
What so did your cars end up coming today?
No. So the girl told me they'll be here at 2 a.m. I said, well, could we rearrange for tomorrow morning? Because I'm gonna be asleep. So they'll probably
What
come
time?
here.
2 a.m.?
Yeah, I'm not. No, no, no. I'm like, no, no. Come in
Who
the
del
morning.
who
Morning.
delivers cars at 2 a.m.?
I don't know. I mean,
That's
I guess that's
insanity.
when they would get to Vegas. I'm going to assume, not
I
to
mean,
me.
all you have to do is wake up and take your fucking keys, right?
I mean, I don't know. I never had a car dropped off before.
I mean, I did. They dropped off my TRX. The guy came, gave me paperwork. I signed it, gave him the keys to my fucking old Dodge. He gave me the keys to the TRX, and
That was
fucking
it.
he took my truck and he bounced. That's how easy that was for me.
5 minutes.
It literally 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm just
So what's getting dropped off
my BMW and Corvette.
now? Okay, you're keeping all those plus the truck, or are you getting rid of one?
I'm think I'm. I think I'm gonna trade in the Corvette.
Listen. You know, I have my car, my truck, and I'm looking at like a beater car.
Yeah,
But and the reason why I say beater car is because bro, being in Jersey,
I
the
know.
fucking
Oh,
road,
I know.
we have winter.
I know.
I mean, listen, Jay Cutler's got like fucking 27 and a half fucking cars. So who am I to say?
So many. Man.
It's insane. I think he's got like, I don't know, it's like 8 or 11. It's something insane.
Yeah.
He's always like, yeah, the cars are getting washed today, bro. So I just, for you, that's a lot of fucking vehicles, bro.
Well, here's the thing.
And you don't go many places, right? You go to the
I
gym.
go to the gym. I might
Do
go
wait,
to.
do you go to the food store, or is that like, or is that a Uber, or is that a DoorDash? Is it what is it called? DoorDash? It's called
Instacart.
Instacart.
So I used to Instacart, and then Maria got really upset because she likes to go to the food store. So now I go to the food store.
You don't like to like walk around and like physically see like
Oh, I
what
do,
you're
bro. I went
getting.
to Whole Food. I went to Whole Foods today just to walk around.
So how is like I've never done Instacart. Maybe it's because I don't have kids. Like I was telling my buddy today who was telling me, he's like, I fucking love Instacart. And I go, maybe it's because I don't have kids and I don't
It's just
have
convenient.
that.
You go on the app, whatever's like local stores around you that you shop at. You go into that store. You find what you want. You add it up. Bang, bang, bang. You pay for it right then and there. Somebody comes and drops off all your goodies at your front door.
So okay, hold on. Is Instacart like an app by itself? And then
Yeah.
you can so it's almost like a DoorDash for food for grocery stores.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Okay. I don't even have the app on my phone. That's how ignorant I am to this.
But I
Because
actually like going to the food store now.
yeah, well in Vegas, I mean obviously I've been there. What is it? It's not Publix.
No, I go to Costco
Well, what's your
or
grocery store you guys have there? Kroger's?
Trader Joe's or Whole Foods.
Okay.
There's a what is it called? I think is it a Smith's down here?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the food store is. Is it not Kroger?
No, that's in Ohio. I know that. That's in Georgia.
Yeah, that's in also Dallas, Texas too.
Yeah.
Or Texas in general. Yeah, well, I mean, I get majority. Where do you shop majority of the time? I go to Wegmans majority of the time.
Wegmans is good. I like Wegmans.
But there's no Wegmans in
Not here, but other than Jersey, I went there a lot.
Yeah, that's my go-to. Like I don't go to Trader Joe's
I like Trader Joe's.
nearly as often. One thing that came to my mind, and it's more of a question, and then and I'm going to ask:
Okay.
do they judge the routine still at the Arnold?
Yes.
Judged?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
So, due to the fact that you had a routine this year, and I know we talked at dinner or whatever when we went out to eat in Vegas, and I know you like we said, it was like kind of put together and kind of not, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever did you talk about the routine yet or no?
I don't think so. No.
So okay, so so people were wowed by the fact that you had like a routine. You dropped down to a knee. You hit some fucking classic poses. So explain to everybody, because it was funny how I told you how I came up with my best routine of all time. tell everybody how you came to put that routine together. Because a lot of times this is how a lot of bodybuilders do it. Because this is how I've done it. And this is how I know a lot of bodybuilders do it. But a lot of times the public doesn't believe we do it like this.
No. So listen, it was funny because I talked a lot of shit. You know, I remember I told Matt, I told Maria, my mom, I said, I got something y'all never gonna see before, I promise. I had nothing planned, no route. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do. So I'm backstage, you know, and I know my song by heart. I listen to it all the time. So the only thing I could think of was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can get on my knees real fast. No, so I did some shuffling backstage, and I'm like, I got this. I got this. Went on stage, winged the whole fucking thing.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Nothing was planned or organized. And for me, if I plan and organize something, I will fuck up. So if I just go out there, wing it, have fun, don't even think about it, it'll flow smoothly.
I tell people all the time, if you know the song inside and out, you can make it look like you know what you're doing and it's choreographed as long as you know the music. Because if you know the music and you listen, you can't be no white boy out there and have fucking you can't have the white boy swag. Like if you got no rhythm, then you're done. Like you just can't. Because I see so many of my friends, bro, that I try to literally teach pose routines to, and they transition, and I'm just like, is that's what you got? That's it? That's what you're working with? Like I can't believe it. Because so they said they judged the Arnold routine. Like the one year I did my favorite, it was one of my favorite routines of all time. It was 2016 Arnold Classic. Actually, it was actually Carrie Underwood's song. It was my favorite routine of all time.
I watched that one. That was a good one.
And Ahmad Ashkenani came out and did this and posed and won. And literally, I was so confident that my routine was that good. I thought my routine bumped me up. Somehow this gave him first place in the posing routine round, which I was like, I don't understand that. But I was wondering if you were going to put, obviously, since you know now that you can pose and that even just by knowing the song, you can get intimate with the music and like actually like, do different poses and present a different side of you on stage. Do you think you're going to put a little more effort into this?
Yeah, probably because I
because the people at the Arnold, I do believe put a little more effort into their posing than they do at most shows because they know it's going to be judged.
Yeah, look, I had fun with it. I'll be honest. So I will probably plan a little more and try and be a little more like I'll try and have a base of what I want to do, and then just spin off that.
Are you are you like a same song type of guy? Like, are you trying to be like a Dorian?
No. I'll have a different
Dorian used like the same song, like poof, poof, over and over again.
I'll have a different song.
Yeah.
Although that song I did was really good.
It was. When you dropped to a knee, I think like the rest of the world watching, we were all like,
they're like, what the fuck is he doing?
That motherfucker just dropped to a knee.
And then when I started switching lanes and shit.
With no blinker.
Yep. Smooth too. Transition.
I was like, okay, Nick's got a little. Mama gave him some swag, boy. Mama gave him some swag. So obviously we already heard the prediction. You said I'm going to win. And you got Samson doing it. You got big names doing it. So, you being on stage with these guys, it's for me to predict it sitting in the audience is a little difficult. Obviously you won. So you're predicting you won, Shaun, too?
I am. Listen, like I said, people really underestimate this guy.
I don't think they do. I don't think anybody underestimates Shaun because he's a freak. I
hope not. But a lot of the talks, he's not included. For first, third.
It's not. See, this is the I think So, because I've discussed it myself, he won a show against Regan and Sergio where those guys weren't their best. So people are looking at that and they're saying that. And then you're taking the best of the best and putting Shaun in that mix. And can Shaun hold his own? Yes. But I think the argument is when you have literally some of the best out there, and you have the best of the best at 212, that depending upon who's in the mix, sometimes that amount of muscle with very good conditioning can outshadow that. So, meaning if you take Shaun and maybe put Shaun in the, let's say, I don't know, anywhere from 9th, 10th spot to 15th in the Olympia, he would hang with those guys. And so one might argue that, well, if he's in, let's say, the 1st through 5th, he might have a harder time because those guys are like an upper echelon of an athlete, right? So they're a different grade. So I think that's what people mean. Well, I don't think people mean that they don't believe Shaun can hang conditioning, muscle fullness, roundness. I just think it's literally just one thing, and it's just lack of actual physical size, and that's it.
It makes sense. I understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like Shaun, and if you ask me who's Shaun Clarida, I would say he's a midget Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah,
like that's literally exactly who he is. He's a 5-foot Ronnie Coleman, and that, in my opinion, can beat 99.999% of everybody in this world, in this sport. The only thing that holds him,
Seeing him up close in person,
it's crazy.
It's insane. It's different.
He's round. He's bubbly. He's just, yeah. He, even in pictures, he doesn't look the same. I've seen it. I've competed with him. It's wild to see. And I agree with you. I think Shaun can be in the top 3 spot with how he looks. But I do think that at these kind of shows, like we've always said, it's usually a mass monster show, right? Like the Arnolds, the Olympias. So that's where the bumping of the heads come in, right? When you have a mass monster, you might have somebody who's bigger and not as conditioned because that's just what it's about, and that's okay. I think it's going to be very interesting to see Shaun at his biggest, fullest, to see Kamal at his biggest, fullest. I thought it would be crazy if Derek was in there and those 3 of those guys were mixing it up, because those are all 212 guys, you know.
I would love to see a Derek and Shaun rematch.
Yeah, I think that'd be crazy. I think those two standing next to each other, it would be something that everybody wants to see, but I don't has anybody heard if Derek's doing it or not?
I've heard through the grapevines he's not. So,
I mean, can you blame him? He had a crazy fucking year. I mean, it's one Olympia, but you also have to think about what he put himself through and his body through with all the added muscle he did in the offseason. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, this is where I'll jump in. This is where I'm going to jump in now. Did he add muscle or did he just keep it without losing it?
Well, the question, I guess, would then turn, was he that size when he was a 212 guy in the offseason? But or did he always restrict himself? That's what you're saying?
I think he restricted himself this offseason. So I think what he gained back was what he normally has, plus maybe a little bit more, I'll say. But he didn't. I don't think he put on an astronomical amount of mass. He just didn't have to suffer and lose mass to make 212.
So I'm guessing what you're saying is that if in order to see if he actually had an off season or has off seasons the way we said, he would have to have an off season like that this year to impress everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know what you mean. Okay, so you're just saying he might have just,
because last year,
that makes sense.
Didn't know if he was going to be in the open. He was determined 212.
Yes.
Now that he knows he's in the open, he can push a little bit now, eat more food, whatever else. He doesn't have to restrict carbohydrate. Like, he can do his thing now. So this would be the off season where we'll see how much tissue he puts on and what he looks like next year when he stands on Olympia stage.
What do you think? I mean, I didn't ask Derek. Do you happen to know what Derek weighed?
I want to say, don't quote me, but I want to say
No
high,
quotes.
he's low 230s.
Low two. Okay, that's crazy. Low 230s, and he was 212 last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, yeah. What did no? Let me ask you your honest opinion. Do you think it's going to be an impressive added amount of muscle like it was last year, or not? Not so for Derek.
If here's the thing, and I love Derek, but if Derek obviously has incredible shape, he has that over me, and like it's not even a competition there. I think if he was able to maintain the shape with added size, it's going to be incredible. But he needs to get harder in the front.
So okay.
If you notice when he turns to the back, you're like, oh shit. And then he turns to the front, you're like,
Now I agree. My question to you is it flatness or is it does it have to get harder?
I think it's maturity.
Because you're talking one thing that I said about Derek, my true knock on Derek was his shit here.
It's not hard.
And his abs were just not popping. They looked almost flat.
I didn't feel like his quads were popping.
Yeah.
Neither.
Yeah, but one could also make the argument that I agree with you, but I've heard also arguments made that he also just could have gotten that full blown up top, that his legs actually just are a little bit undersized now. But I think like you, I think that the true fact is that he was a little
to see him very frequently.
Yeah.
And this man's legs are astronomical. They're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge.
So if Derek jumps in the mix, then what would you do?
I'm winning, baby.
No. Not what would you do? Like, what would you do as far as your predictions?
I'm still putting Shaun second.
Yeah, huh? So then my question to you is this. Do you think Shaun could have been second at the Olympia? Open Olympia.
Oh, come on, you can't do that.
Oh no, I just fucking did it. Because I wasn't gonna do that. You did that.
It's a you did show, that.
Man. No. And I would never even do that. You literally did that to yourself. Because Derek placed ahead of you, and then you just placed Shaun ahead of Derek. So I had to. Everybody would have, if I didn't ask, Trigilli would have been all over this.
I know. Look, I'll just say, I think if Shaun did the Open, he would have shocked a lot more people than we think.
You're such a pussy.
Yeah.
Look what I mean.
The gummies?
Mm-hmm.
So good, bro.
You got them? You liked them, right?
I love them.
Did you taking 3? My shoulder's fucking killing me. Which ones did you like the best?
I like to drink.
This isn't a sales pitch, but we sent Nick some of the Uprising Xtracts products. We sent them some gummies, some shots, and
the shots are my favorite.
Are they your favorite? Obviously not because of the taste, but because of just the concentrate.
Yeah, and I feel like they hit fast.
What do you feel?
Energized. I like to take it. I take it before I do my fasted cardio, and I feel like I could do cardio like a track runner.
Yeah, it almost like gives you that focus. You almost like zone in. It's almost like you're
I don't get tired. I don't get tired.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like yesterday, I was doing fasted, and Mark Anthony, he looks at me. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?" Because I'm just like, and he's like, "You haven't slowed down once. What are you doing?" And I'm like,
burning, baby.
Awesome.
How does for me, the number one thing that I noticed was the pain relief, because my joints in my back are so bad.
I have noticed that.
And it helped me tremendously.
Not that I really have many, but like the little, aches
and pains.
It goes away.
I had a guy, this is hilarious, send me a message today. I'll read it to you. I sent it to my business partner Mark. It says, um, anyway, I wanted to say I got the kratom and took 2 gummies. I felt really good, enough that I ended up squashing things with my girl, and we are back on good terms. That shit eliminated all my hostility and resentment I felt that I was lingering from a fight we had a while back. So far, so good. So thanks for all this. I
You
was
see,
like, I'm like, man, we're
there's fixed
fucking
relationships.
we're fixing relationships up in this bitch.
That's
Um,
that's
so
huge.
have you taken it? You said before cardio, have you my time I was taking it for me was pre-workout because I was trying to train in the least amount of pain possible. So I would take it like 20 minutes before, like I would take it as I left for the gym. The gym 17 minutes from my house. I'd get to the
Yeah,
gym, get my shit together, take my pre-workout, and then get rocking and rolling.
yeah. I've done it before training, and I've obviously noticed the same effects as cardio. I
Yeah.
don't the little aches and pains fade, and I'm just more energized. I could train for hours, bro.
Yeah.
Hours.
It's it's an amazing ingredient, and it was weird that a lot that it wasn't in the fitness industry. And then when I was telling you about it we were at the Olympia, I said as soon as I tried it for the first time, I was like, this is there's got to be um a way to incorporate this into the industry. And like anything else, you'll read like I told you, like anything else, you'll read negatives about anything sometimes before positives. But the positive this stuff brought me was just amazing, and the amount of years it gave me from my career. So is it something you think you would incorporate into like an actual like day to day, or is it something that like you would take like I tell people you want to take on an as needed basis? So is it
Yeah,
something you think you'd actually utilize like in a prep? Now I know you're probably, if I know you, the reason why you probably said these aren't your favorite, and I'm gonna take a fucking guess, and I'm gonna say it's because of the 1 gram of sugar that's in the fucking the
factual.
gummies.
Factual.
Is that true?
Very true.
So there's 1 gram of sugar in each of the gummies. So they're 20 mgs
No extra
per
sugar.
square. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna I would be the same way. But if you like it that much, I could reach out to Mark and we can make you obviously we're brand fucking new and it's just me and Mark, but we can make you a code for your fans if you want to make a mutant code if you're interested. Let
Mutant
the
code.
fans know. Make a
Mutant
make a
code.
mutant code.
Let's make a mutant code.
Make a mute. We're gonna make a mutant code live.
I find this very beneficial, especially in prep. So
You guys hear that? Okay,
I
so
have not in my just I've been using it for a couple of weeks since you said
this
it.
is this is unsolicited, by the way, guys. I
No,
didn't
it
plan
is. It is. It
didn't
is.
plan
No,
to.
I've been using it for a couple of weeks and I have seen nothing but benefit. So
Yeah, I mean, listen, and something I'm going to say, and we're going to move on to something else is, um, the reason why you guys see kratom in smoke shops is because people go to smoke shops for a feeling. That you go to a smoke shop to feel a certain way. People go there for nicotine, for the Delta gummies, for the THC shit, and for certain kratom to for a certain dosage, for a certain amount to make them feel a certain way. So this is not, obviously you might see this in smoke shops because, the carbon culture world, the smoke shop world is a big world. But my intention on incorporating kratom into the bodybuilding was due to the fact that the benefits that it brought to me and the amount of time that it gave me towards the end
yeah,
of my career, as far as the pain relieving side effects, the nootropics, the energy, the focus, this stuff. Not only that, and we've talked about it before, it gives you all that, and because it also depends on the receptors on your body and how it binds to them. You can also take it before bed, and I've had even women that have horrible time sleeping will take 1 to 2 gummies before bed, and literally have said they've gotten the best night of sleep that they've ever gotten. So this has so many benefits to it that it was shocking to me
I
that it
agree.
wasn't in the fitness industry. And once I tried it, I was like, this is I got to speak about this and figure out a way to to be more active in becoming one of the voices of an ingredient that I think is so beneficial and could be so beneficial to so many people. So,
I
um,
agree. I'm
yeah,
on board.
the first time you tried it was what in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of the things where you try it and it's not something where you might feel or it's like, you got to take for a week. It's literally you take it within
You
20
feel it.
minutes, you will feel the effects of it. And then you'll know if you like it or if you need a higher dose or a lesser dose. But um anyway, well, uprisingxtracts.com promo code mutant will save you guys 10% off your entire order. So that's a Nick Walker special. So what changes now for you?
Well, in prep,
Well, now that we're switching gears, right? I mean, were you obviously were going out to eat a little more with Maria and doing a little bit more lackadaisical things as far as like your diet is concerned. So now, were you and Matt prepared for this, or did you guys?
no, I mean, realistically, no, because like I said, I told him I don't want to do it. I literally, I said, no, I'm not, I made the decision. I want to stick by it, and then, the whole prize money thing. And, I said I felt fine.
Yep.
I ran it by him because listen, I knew he had Shaun in it too. And not that, it would be a conflict, but I wanted to make sure like everyone was on board. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that, and I think I don't think Shaun had any umbrage towards that either. I highly doubt.
No,
Yeah.
Shaun was awesome. He's like, great. I'm glad he's in it. I'm still coming to win, which is which is my mindset. So I
Fuck
admire
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And me and Shaun are good friends. Like, I don't want any, you know what I mean? But I had to make sure everyone was on board before I even said yes. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
a big part for me is, the outside people that are truly involved are like, yeah, if mentally you're good, you stop being a pussy and go get that money.
Yeah.
Like, because people can say, oh, well, you're only doing it for the money, whatever. It's 300K. This is my career. Like, fucking right, I am.
Yeah, and you got to understand something. 300K, like people are like, well, why 200, not three? Well, sometimes 200 to somebody isn't life changing, but 300 is, right? I mean,
the
that could
whole
just
it's and you also got to look at it. It's 100 less than Olympia,
yeah,
and me coming into it knowing I already won this shit once. I'm gonna fucking do it again.
yeah,
You know.
yeah,
So
yep,
I think and my mom brought up a good point. We were talking about it, and she's like, "What are you gonna do different? Like you literally do the same shit every single day. We're gonna stop going out to eat for a little while. Ooh,
yeah. So,
and she's
well,
right.
she's 100% right. Now, well, here's a question for you, and which I'm sure you'd be surprised. I don't know if it's been asked yet, but I guess it's a two-part question. One, if you win this Arnold, is this you're done, no more Arnolds, or if they
Oh,
keep the prize money at 300, is this something you'll keep coming back and fucking smashing heads? So
I
did
just really
if
love doing the Arnolds. Like I don't know why, but like I
you do know
love doing
why because of the production value and how good they are at it. That's
and
why it's so
with
good.
the prize money being 300. Why not do it? Right?
You should be like, if I do it and I win, Arnold has to at least talk to me this time.
Yeah, he has to at least give me the speech.
Yeah, didn't he? You didn't get the speech, right? Yeah.
No.
So he's the hey Arnold. Obviously, you don't watch my podcast, but if you watch our podcast, make sure that my buddy here, when he wins it a second time, you give him a little extra time on the clock, like
Yeah,
the
let's
refs. Put a little time on the clock.
little extra 30 seconds here.
You know, I said my podcast, our podcast. That's why I corrected myself the second time. I corrected it quick. I was like, yeah, when I go to these shows, man, it's hard. It's hard for me to watch them. It's hard for me to be in the audience.
Oh, I'm
So
sure it is, right?
yeah, I mean, everybody busts chops about the retired guys and the old guys, but when you did something for as long as I did it for, and you don't get to do that part of it, it's hard to watch. I remember my first Olympia, when I wasn't competing. They put this big commercial together, Blackstone Labs, and they wanted me to watch it. And I went there and I watched the commercial. And I remember as soon as the competitors started coming out, I said, I gotta go. I walked right out. I said, I can't. Just something inside my fucking stomach was just like, yeah. And it's like weird because it's like you get upset, but it's like anger, and it's hard because I feel like I can keep going. I feel like I have that drive and that want, and but my fucking dude, my shoulders are so fucked, dude. It's so bad.
You, I think, in my opinion, I think you went out at the right time.
Yeah,
You know,
I was doing myself a disservice at that point. I was trying to push things and do things that I was not able to do. Um, and still, I mean, yeah, I still try to train. I'm still training probably in a way that's a little too aggressive and probably still a little detrimental to my body because I still push
but
myself.
here's the thing: are you having fun?
Dude, I have a fucking blast every day, man.
Who cares?
I have a blast.
If happy, having fun, who cares how you train?
I do, man. One thing I can say is as of lately that hasn't been for a while is I've enjoyed living life lately more than I have in a very, very long time. Like I enjoy my days. I enjoy the process of my days.
How I feel now, man. It's good.
Huh?
That's how I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah. I mean, I think once you find the groove, see my issue is I still have to find that spot, right? That place. Like, I'm in Jersey and that's all well and good, but at the end of the day, I Jersey's not is my home, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's my like my forever like home. You know what I'm saying? It's my stomping
Yeah,
ground.
of
But
course.
I think in the next year I might be doing this podcast from another location. And
Vegas,
Dallas was huh?
Vegas.
You motherfuckers, you and Flex love
No,
me,
no, no.
huh?
You listen to me.
Yeah, but the problem is there's no hunting out there, bro. There's no
We'll find
fishing.
a spot.
What?
We'll find a spot. Don't worry.
What are we gonna hunt? Cactuses?
We got coyotes everywhere. We'll go shoot them bitches down.
We'll shoot them bitches down. um, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I really don't. I'm trying to figure it out. Dallas has been on the forefront for me for a long time.
that was
Um, huh?
that was just nice. That's more your style.
Yeah, man. And I'm looking at places right where Branch lives. So me and Branch are very tight, and we have a lot of similar tastes about things. So I think it'll be a good it'll be a good addition, whether I get like a rental property for myself and go down there once in a while and rent it out, or I just get like a vacation property and go down there once in a while. But I definitely think I need to change the scenery, and I think that time is in my life is now, and I think I need to start doing a couple other things and not be so nervous to take that step.
So
But
are you gonna keep the place you have in Jersey?
I would if I could.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know, what it's going to cost for me to move to Dallas and what the finance situation is going to be. If I could, yeah. I mean, what essentially what I like to do is get a bigger place in Dallas and have a smaller place up here, being that I'd be in Dallas majority of the time. So I'd rather sell this, get a smaller place in Jersey, and get a much bigger place in Dallas, and that be kind of like my forever home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Yep.
Um, and it's starting to get cold here too, and the cold never bothered me, but now that I
Fucking with
retired, well, dude, I'm fucking 30 pounds, 25 pounds, 30 pounds lighter than I used to be. Dude, that cold cuts fucking right through my ass
it's
hard.
cold.
Oh, dude, I can't tolerate it, bro. It fucks me up bad, bad,
But
bad, bad.
I hate the cold, bro.
So I got two messages this week, actually more than two, but it was two this week regarding the same thing.
What?
Now, obviously, this is new. Our podcast is new. We're finding our groove. You're gonna eventually get a fucking microphone, you fucking lazy bastard,
Get a
and
microphone
and a backdrop and
and back
headphones.
and headphones.
Um, my backdrop is being made now. People are asking about guests,
Yes.
and I see. Let's touch on the comments about people thinking that I've seen a few comments on both podcasts bringing up the fact that Guy and Nick are backstabbers. Guy and Nick fucking screwed over Fuad. This is bro chat minus Fuad. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna say this once and for all. My podcast with Nick, or my podcast with Nick and our podcast collectively is nothing like any other podcast because it's just me and Nick. the reason why I started this podcast was because I had my own podcast for a very long time and I wanted to do something for me.
Yeah.
And Nick wanted to do something with me, being that me and Nick are very close. And one of the things that me and Nick, and that I said specifically to Nick before we launched our first podcast, before we even hit record, and I have the guys, Carmine, I have Tony in the room, Joe, who can attest to this, is that one of the first things I said is that this is not going to be nothing like Bro Chat, because I'm not going to do that to Fuad, and that's not what we're about. And
Right.
people see Guy and Nick and they automatically assume Guy and Nick are Bro Chat. And people have to understand that Guy being on another podcast is just that. Guy being on another podcast with a very, very fucking good friend of his. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I might do other podcasts down the line, and Mutant in the Mouth, our podcast will always be there. Does that mean Mutant in the Mouth, Nick won't do another podcast with somebody else, or Guy? No, but the point is that for people that don't know the details of the situation, to say that the negative things, and to see the negative things that people were saying about Fuad. People were saying things about Fuad in the comments about how he doesn't let certain people talk, and they were getting sick of this and sick of that. And you guys have to remember, and one thing I said to Fuad too is that I learned a lot from podcasting because of Fuad, and a lot of what I learned, and the way I go about doing things, and how I podcast, I learned from him, and I gave him so much credit. But to see the negative comments after the years of the time that we both gave to Bro Chat, and to see
Yeah.
the harsh comments. Listen, not all bands stay together. I gave Fuad my word that I'd be part of Bro Chat until Bro Chat was no longer, and that's still there. I was on Bro Chat the other night. We have a great time doing it. Fuad does a phenomenal job with that podcast, and all my job was, when I had the idea of doing a podcast with Nick, was me and Nick can start our own podcast and bring something else to the bodybuilding world. And that's all we were trying to do, is just give you guys a different side of who we are as people, and provide some entertainment and some good listening material for you guys. And where I was going with that is that, it's me and you. This is a much more intimate setting. We talk about a lot more things. There's no, who's screaming at who's cutting people off, who's fucking acting like an asshole, because that's what we do, right? That's Bro Chat. That's us. But I had Seth Feroci, Chris Aceto, and people asking, Chris is like, I want to be on your podcast. I didn't even ask Chris. Chris is like, I want guy, I want to be on your podcast, guy. He's like, guy. I was like, sure, Chris. So my question to you is, what would you think at some point, because I think we have so much to talk about because it's so new. But I think the host and co-host of me and you is always going to be what it is. That'll never change. And I don't want to bring on a third. The podcast, what you guys see right now, this is the podcast. This is Mutant in the Mouth. This isn't going to be Mutant in the Mouth. It's somebody else. Now we might have guests on here and there. But it's not going to be an every week thing. It's not, because I think that me and Nick bring a lot of interesting stuff to the bodybuilding community. You got my old ass, his young ass. We got a lot of different communities we bring together in one podcast. And I think it's pretty cool. And, for those that watch our podcast, and, I'm assuming you all watch Bro Chat, but for those that have maybe never watched Bro Chat, I encourage you all to go check out, Bro Chat and all the other bodybuilding, podcasts out there. I'm not going to sit here and bash podcasts. I think anybody that brings any sort of positive influence and light to bodybuilding should be talked about and should be brought to light and should be spoken about. And so don't just subscribe and like and comment on my channel. Do it to all the people that are trying to do something in the bodybuilding world. Yeah, Fuad's fucking. I mean, I know we bust Trigili's balls too for being, a douche knuckle sometimes, but it's entertaining, and he does, sometimes he's right with a lot of stuff that he says.
I watch every episode.
of Trigilli's. I busted. He'll once in a while he'll message me and I'll be like, "What nonsense did you put up today?"
Yeah, listen. I think he changed a little bit. Like he became less about talking shit, but more so like putting out valid information with his personality twist to it. But it's entertaining.
The sad
It's fun.
the sad fact is that in our sport, somebody has to be that guy,
Yeah,
right? And somebody's got to be the fucking reporters and like, there's all different news channels on TV and everybody's got their own outlet and their own view. And that's all it is. It's just a different journalist view on a different topic. And
he has the entertaining news outlet one.
Yeah. Until he fucks with the wrong guy. Fuck with the bull. Nick, get the horns, bro.
The horns.
So I wanted to get you on here tonight, and I know we have different scheduled podcast days, but I talked to you today and I was like, hey, I want to get you on because I wanted everybody. I feel like so many people are waiting to hear you talk about the Arnold and maybe the reason why you wanted to do it. So I figured it was fresh. So I wanted to get you on and let the fans have your explanation of the podcast of the explanation on the podcast as to why you decided to do the Arnold. And the podcast being new, you got somebody was like, oh, it seems like you interview Nick a lot. Well, you guys have to understand something. Nick's the new Nick's the new bodybuilder on the scene who when we started this podcast took third at the Olympia and jumped 2 spots and had won an Arnold Classic prior and now just signed a contract to compete in the second Arnold Classic. So the minute Nick stops doing monumental fucking things will be the day I can stop doing podcasts about Nick's monumental work. So maybe the next podcast, Nick won't sign a fucking ridiculous contract and we have to talk about something else that he's done. That's insane. But no, man, I gotta say, bro, being 40 years old and being like a younger brother and watching all the success you have and seeing the fact that I've known you since you were an amateur and now one of the best in the world and buying houses and buying trucks is pretty amazing. So it's very impressed with all your good fortune, man. I'm super proud of you and I got nothing but love for you. And I'm glad I get to be there in March and I get to see you. Oh, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be there. Are you kidding me? Be there fucking loud and proud, bro.
Damn right.
So we've been on again for just over an hour. So, right? Just about an hour, guys? Where are we at? Where are we at? Well, what do you mean roughly? Roughly? You guys not doing your fucking, you're reading the book.
Roughly.
What? I mean, do we keep going? Do we keep razzle jazzling these people?
Arnold, man.
Huh?
I'm excited for the Arnold.
So
what excites me? I'll tell you what excites me. I think I have more fire lit under my ass for this one, more than I did for the Olympia because I already won. So now I'm working even harder to get 2 now.
Now,
your
confidence has to be high though.
It's very high.
And does that having the confidence that you've been there, done that, people sometimes think that because you're the champ, that fire's not there. And obviously I never won an Arnold Classic, but I like when I won the New York Pro and I was coming back the second time, like I was like licking I was more ready to go round 2 than I was round 1. And I probably trained harder the second round than I did the first because I was like, I beat him the first time. Now I'm gonna fucking bury him the second time.
Yeah. Like Milo said when I walked out on that stage last year at the Arnold, he knew it was over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that happens again. The moment I walk out, everyone's like, oh, that's that.
Yeah.
And it's gonna work in my favor now because I have Maria. She comes back next week and she's gonna be starting prep for herself. So
cool.
We're both gonna be having this, like it's gonna be good.
Is she doing what? Is she gonna do the Arnold Amateur?
No. She's doing a show in June,
Okay.
and she's going to do USA's in July.
Okay, cool. Well, that makes sense because that's in Vegas.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe
that's why.
I'll.
That's why I picked it. Stay local.
It's easy now because now I can go to Vegas and I can go and crash with you. I can crash with Flex. Now, Jay, I got a lot more than one reason to go out to Vegas now. It makes my life a lot fucking easier.
It's more reason to get a house out here too, man. You got a lot of friends out here.
You really like it out there that much, huh?
Honestly, bro, yes, I really do.
People, environment,
I really,
gyms, or everything.
everything, bro. I really do.
Yeah, huh?
It's for. I mean, it's very peaceful in the neighborhood that I live in,
Yeah,
but everything is so close, bro.
yeah.
Literally, like
But there's no
nothing
there's.
further than like a half hour.
What about land though? There's not a lot of places that have like land out there, right? My
There
dog
is
is fuck. Can you hear my dog just ripping snoring?
no.
I'm gonna see. Hold on. If I don't.
Don't drive.
Hold on. Hold on.
Knocked.
Out snoring like maniacs. Fucking ridiculous.
I mean, but no, there's places out here you can get land for sure.
Yeah, that's my thing. I'm so used to living on the acreage that I live on that I feel like that I would almost be like claustrophobic if I was too close to people because I have such like I don't have a huge live 2.5 acres. It's not like a fucking ton of
Yeah, yeah.
land, but it's enough to where like you're not around immediate people and you don't see your neighbors up close and shit. So it's kind of gives you a little solitude that I enjoy. And fucking Vegas is so go, 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 bro. Like the place never fucking slows down and sleeps. And you might think, well, you fucking neither do you, but I need at my age, I need a little fucking
No, bro,
a little third gear.
it's slow, bro. It's very
Yeah.
slow.
Really?
Chilled, relaxed. Yeah, you're talking about the strip, man. I'm far.
No. I want no that strips. That strip's a fucking shit show.
I'm like we're like a half hour from the strip, man.
Yeah, I gotta see your place. I didn't see your place the last time. Can you hit him? Tank. Stop
But
snoring, bro. My God.
for a weekend or something.
Yeah, I got to come out there for a long weekend. I'll come out there maybe in February or March. Maybe I'll come out there for my birthday in March.
When's your birthday?
March 21st,
Say,
41. Huh?
say no more.
I want to be picked up in that fucking in that Corvette.
I might trade that. Listen,
Here we go.
but I gotta drive it a couple times first. I miss it, man.
What
That
and you what do you miss more, the Vet or the Beamer?
I love the Beamer, but I just miss when I fucking hit the pedal on that Corvette, and it's like, oh,
But you love that truck.
I love it.
The best thing you drive, right?
It is.
Told you.
It
They're
is.
the There's nothing once you drive a truck, bro, there's nothing better.
Maria is basically going to drive the BMW for the most part.
You just give her that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have the truck, and then I'll trade in the Corvette, and then maybe like next year I might get like a fast car again.
Are you gonna trade in the Corvette and for what? Just get rid of it or
Just get rid of it.
did you buy it?
Yeah, it's bought.
You own it or you still have payments on it?
I still have payments on it, but
Oh, so you could just like kind of see if you want to like sell it back or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Or you could probably fucking sell it and probably make money on it, to be honest with you. In this
yeah, 'cause they don't have that
way
model.
yeah, dude. I mean, the car's been sitting there for a couple months too. You haven't driven it.
And
And and the value, I mean, you could sell it, you probably sell it now because the value of cars is starting to come down. So if you catch it now, you're probably in a good spot.
yeah,
You
so
know,
that's what I'll end up doing. And honestly, if I was to get like another sports car, I really love Challengers, man.
if you're gonna get a Dodge, you gotta get a Hellcat, bro.
No, it would be a Helicat, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it just
Is
I had it before and I loved it.
Is the Challenger the Hellcat or the Charger?
You can get a Challenger as a
Can you?
Hellcat.
You can get
Yeah.
both? Oh, yeah, okay. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. Or you
Just-
get the fucking the Hellcat fucking Durango.
I got the BMW in the truck. I want a car.
That Durango actually doesn't sit too high, dude.
No,
No, it's like a crossover, bro. You're not super high in that thing. That thing's fucking big though. It's got 3 rows.
it does got three
My
fucking.
buddy had it. It was fucking nice, and the thing was a fucking rocket ship.
You get rid of it?
My buddy Dave. Yeah, he sold it. He bought it, right? He bought it for 86.5 and sold it for like 104.
Good for
And
him.
he put 18K on it.
Good for him.
Yeah, he drove for like a year and a half or a year, put 18,000 miles on it and sold it. And when he bought it for 86.5 and sold it for 103 or 104.
Bro, that Corvette maybe has 17,000 miles on it.
What year?
19.
Oh yeah. You could sell
It was the year right before they made like the
they changed the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed the body style.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why if you want to be a Ferrari, be a Ferrari. Don't be a Corvette.
That's what I'm saying. Like you had your own style. Why completely change it, man?
Yeah, like it turns your head, and the only reason why it turns your head is because you go, "Is that a Ferrari or a Corvette?" And then most people go, "Oh, it's a fucking Corvette." Then nobody goes, "Oh my god, it's fucking cool." No, they go, "Oh no, it looks like a Ferrari." Like it's fucking stupid.
Corvette. You know, they should have just stuck to the old models, man.
I'm not saying it's not a badass car. It's a badass car. They just should have just made it look like the fucking vet.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my only fucking thing.
It hurts my feeling.
That's what we talk about. Stay in your fucking lane.
Hey,
if you're doing it right and it works, stay there. Don't try to be something you're not. Don't try to play somebody else's fucking game. Play your own game. Play your own game.
Your own strength.
Your own strengths. And that's what Nick Walker will be doing come 2023 Arnold Classic, where they'll probably crown him. And still Arnold Classic champion. Okay, so that does it for episode number 3. Myself and my co-host, Nicholas Walker, Mutant in the Mouth. We are signing off, guys, until next week. Leave us some comments below, like, subscribe. Let us know what you like about the podcast, what you don't like, who you want to see on the podcast if we bring on guests. Also, if you guys don't think we read the comments, we do, because if you guys notice, I changed where I am. Where Nick was even telling me to look at the comments because he was paying attention to them. So until next time, Mutant in the Mouth, myself, Nick Walker, we're out.
Bye-bye.